Hello there YouTube, CompDude512 here. You guys have been asking me about emergency lighting videos, and as you can tell right here in the frame, I have an emergency lighting video that a lot of you have been waiting a long time to see today. Now, this sign is not new to me. I've had it for a long time, and as you can see, under that shipping label right there, you'll see a half of a Sure Lights logo with halo lighting underneath it. Now, let me tell you a little bit about this box. This box is kind of a relic that dates back to when the sign in this box first came on the market. Around about 1994 or so, the halo lighting division, excuse me, I can't talk today, of Sure Lights was responsible for making a lot of the exit lighting and emergency lighting product that company made. Of course, the UNH series, both with and without the lighting heads integrated on them, with the vintage faceplates, were all mostly made by the Halo Lighting division of Sure Lights. Now, what is in this box, from when it dates, is really the last of its breed, because this configuration in this box really was quite common in 1994 when these first came onto the market. Back then, LED lighting was a big thing, and a lot of fluorescent and incandescent options were being replaced by what was the infancy of LED lighting in exit signs. Most of the time it wasn't an LED lighting strip, but it was a light panel. And a lot of exit signs around that time had direct view LED panels in them. And this sign, as I've said before, and I promise you I'm going to show it to you, is one of the last signs to be made with this configuration. It's a very, very interesting sign, and it is one of my favorites that I myself did first see in 1994. This particular one was made in 2012 though, and that's why the Halo Lighting designation on this box is sort of a relic of its time, because by the time this sign was produced, it was just being produced by the same division that produced all the other Sure Lights exit signs, and wasn't actually produced by Halo Lighting at all. So that is interesting. This sign is, as you're about to see, from the CAX series. This is a CAX all-steel Sure Lights exit sign with an LED panel on the inside. And it does have battery backup. And inside the box, save from this diffuser over here, which you're going to see where that's from in a little while when I go inside and we take a look at another CAX exit sign, which I've modified to look like a lot of the ones from 1994 when these first came out. You won't actually get an extra diffuser in the box. This is the one from the sign that I've modified. But you will get one of these instruction manuals for installation for the LED, AC, and self-powered exit signs. And again, we'll go over what's special about the self-powered version, which is what both of them are that I have, a little later on in this video. But this is just to show pretty much everything you get in the box when you get it. It comes wrapped in, of course, a protective plastic covering. There's nothing really in the box underneath it. All the goodies, well, in this particular one, I've taken them in outside of the sign. They are in there. What you have in here is actually the mounting canopy and mounting hardware for this exit sign. Usually that comes on the inside of the sign, but I seem to have forgotten. It's been so long since I've been in this box that those actually do come in there. Usually you would also either have this instruction manual come inside or below the sign in the box, as for it to not get lost. So really, that's the only part of this video that's going to be an unboxing. But what you're about to see inside, through the magic of video editing, as UXW Bill likes to say, everyone says that I sound a lot like UXW Bill. And I'll tell you what, while I am a fan of his videos and I have really come to respect UXW Bill, I am not even half of the video maker that he is. With that aside, I'm going to take you inside and we're going to show you the inside of this sign and we're going to talk about what makes it special. Alright, we're ready to take a look inside this Sure Lights CAX Pinnacle Series exit sign. Now, what does Pinnacle Series have to do with anything? Well, back when Halo Lighting was actually making these signs, they gave a word designator as well as a model designator to these signs. The CAX series was known as the Pinnacle Series, and as I mentioned earlier in the video, the UNH series signs, which formerly came with a pack that had the Sure Lights script logo on it, those signs were actually known as the Freedom Series. There were a couple other ones here and there that had model designations as well as word designations, but those are the ones. And the most important thing that you should know is that this sign, but of course it has been discontinued and replaced with the much smaller and I think more bland and generic looking CX series sign. And that has the Sure Lights Easy Key technology, which, as you can see, this sign pretty much retained its classic test button and AC light and never had the Easy Key technology. And if they did put the Easy Key on CAX, then I never knew about it. Really, all the Easy Key is to keep the battery locked out when you're installing these signs. Now all we're going to do is we're going to crack this thing open now. That's what everyone's been waiting on. And of course, you have to knock out your specified, J-box knockouts and wiring conduit knockouts and all that great stuff on these CAX signs. And I'm really hoping I can get this open with one hand. And it's not looking like that I will be able to, so I'll be right back. Okay, I have this sign open now. We'll go ahead and zoom in on the model number. This is a model CAX 717000GW. Now what does all that mean? CAX, of course, is the series of the sign. 71, the 7 stands for a self-powered sign, 1 stands for how many faces are on this self-powered sign, which is of course 1. And then, of course, 70 is repeated to tell us that it's a nickel-cadmium battery backup. 00 means no options. G means, of course, as you can see, it has a green face. And W is white for white housing. This sign is 120-277 volts AC compatible at 8.5 watts of power usage, depending upon the state of the sign. Output on this sign for 90 minutes is 10.8 watts on 6 volts, and of course manufactured by Cooper Lighting in Peachtree City, Georgia. I'm not sure if they're still in Peachtree City or not. Eaton now owns them. They may or may not have had a move, but this sign was produced in Mexico. And you can see right here that this sign dates from May 2012 on first shift. And it, of course, was tested. And thank the stars, because this sign performs just as well as its 1994 counterparts. Now what you're seeing here is the back of the direct view LED panel that these signs had from 1994 until at least 2012 when this sign was made. Of course, these signs are discontinued. And you'll be able to see why I got rid of the diffuser in just a minute, as long as there is AC power, or DC power. We're not plugging this into AC if we don't have to, because hopefully there's enough residual power in the battery on DC to run this LED panel, so I don't even have to plug it in. But here you'll be able to see that there is an LED that is directly illuminating that diffuser right there. And all this diffuser is, I don't know if you can tell from the texture in the video, all it really is a folder that kind of looks like the classic diffusers that they used to put in here. I have, at work, the stationery department under my belt, and we got these poly see-through folders with the exact same texture as the original diffusers in these signs. And I knew when I saw those I had to get one, and I think it was 17 cents well spent to make this look like a vintage sign. We're going to go ahead and move along. But first I want to show you this, because there's a little bit of a quirk to this sign. Now, I joked about this on my Flickr page when I put this up. I have no idea what a use-safe condition is, but this caution label makes me want to avoid it. And this gray piece of cardboard that hides the inside of the sign serves to make sure that no metal parts from this LED panel contacts the metal underneath this sign, or at least this cardboard part here. Because if it did, it would short out, you may have a fire, and certainly the $700 that you would have paid for one of these signs when they were brand new would have been down the drain, and Cooper Lighting and Sure Lights would not have covered that under their warranty. As we remove this cardboard part and get into the guts of this sign, you'll notice immediately that there's really not much going on in here. But aside from that, this is one of the only signs that happens to have a dual transformer design. There's transformer number 1, and over here is transformer number 2. Now, the transformer over here is a step-down transformer that controls pretty much all the goodies going on this board and on the LED panel. Because it has to be stepped down to 6 volts for this to run and for the LED panel to run, you have to have a secondary transformer that would not be present on just the incandescent models of these signs. As we know, incandescent bulbs can run directly off 120-277, so their sockets can be wired directly to AC power. And of course, we have over here the main AC power line for this sign. And right over here is the nickel-cadmium battery, which will go directly into a plug over here. And you can see it right there where it will be plugged in here very soon. Of course, various things that you'll see for the operation of this sign. Test switch, the faceplate, all that good stuff. Fire alarm panel, if that is an available option. On this sign, it is not. And right here you can just see the internals of the test switch and the indicator LED for AC power. Now hopefully, like I said, this battery has enough juice left in it that we can show off the LED panel. So I'm going to go ahead and hook that in, and hopefully nothing goes bang. I'll be right back. Well, the battery didn't have as much residual charge in it as I had thought. So I did have to hook this sign up to an AC line cord to sort of revive the cells in the battery. And what you're seeing here now is the direct view LED panel that kind of attracted me to these signs so many years ago. And I think that the way these signs look are simply just absolutely beautiful. You really don't get to see many direct view LED panels these days at all. I believe that the only companies that are actually making direct view panels for exit signs these days are Gilbert, which manufactures the LED 1, or the Freedom Series LED sign, which, you know, a lot of companies that are American companies like to use that Freedom Series designation, which more power to them, go for it. But the Freedom Series LED direct view exit sign, which actually have one right there in service. I always like to say that real exit signs have direct view LED panels, but I'm also pretty fond of some of the more vintage looks that we get in faceplates. Now a lot of vintage signs are available for cheap, and I will be doing a couple more videos in the future on a vintage sign experiment, plus a vintage fixture experiment. We're going to be testing out something really cool in the future, so keep in mind that that's going to be popping up here quite shortly. It'll be maybe within the next couple of weeks, so keep your eyes peeled. But anyway, on that train of thought, I think that the only two companies really that are making direct view exit signs now are Gilbert for Hubble and Exitronics. I don't think anyone else is at the moment. And I can see this sign getting dimmer and dimmer. So that must mean that we need to go ahead and end this video. So I want to thank you guys for watching. Emergency lighting and exit sign videos are back, and as the exit sign fades into the sunset, so does this video. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them below, or if you have any comments, do the same. And as always, remember to love each other and take care of yourselves.